With us on the call as well, we have Marc-Antoine Juanita, Peter Pillsbury, Tom Starbuck, and Kim McLean. So you're going to hear from a couple different people today. Marc-Antoine is our product leader on the Matrix and MOS Touch side. Peter Pillsbury is the product designer on the Matrix side. Tom Starbuck, who will be leading the actual demo, live demo portion, is our product manager. And Kim is our senior marketing professional on the team. Next, yeah. Awesome. So 12.5 is a very robust release. We've actually included quite a few key features in here. We've summarized it all to kind of the five here. The big main event is going to be the new CMA. So this is a powerful enhancement that we're going to demo today. We've also made several enhancements to the dashboard to improve usability and make it easier for agents to get what they need on the dashboard. We'll talk a little bit about those. We've made some usability improvements, some efficiency improvements to the listing manager, and we've added a bunch of financial calculators and some visuals that you'll be able to take advantage of in the system as well. And finally, for participating MLSs who are using one homeowner, we've actually deepened the integration between those two platforms. So first up, the CMA. So the brand new CMA really is going to empower agents to win more listings and establish themselves as trusted local experts and help them work with their clients to really set expectations, refine the pricing strategy, and ultimately maximize the client returns on the listings that they list with. We've also included a bunch of dashboard features that are going to help boost productivity and really help agents uncover more opportunities. The big one being the drag and drop widgets, expanded screen space. We've gotten a lot of feedback from agents, and these are a couple of the things that they really wanted. We're just going to make it easier for them to customize their homepage, so it's going to work exactly like they need it to and highlight the most important relevant opportunities in their database. We've also made many usability enhancements to the new listing manager. Again, we've been listening to feedback from our clients, from the agents and users who are using it. We've added some hit counters as well, activity charts, so that agents can really better understand and kind of share the engagement metrics that they're seeing with their clients. And then we also have new visuals and calculators. So these are actually going to enable agents to basically do things like affordability calculator. We have over a dozen new calculators, some visuals that are going to provide some really great insights to agents that are going to help them confidently, proactively answer questions from home buyers and sellers. And finally, for the one homeowner integration, we've really just worked on deeper integration and feature integration. So for any of you who do not know what one homeowner is, feel free to reach out to your account rep, to your client service manager, and we'll be able to give you an update on what that feature is and how you can take advantage of it. But this release also includes some deeper integration between those two tools in our platform. Now, finally, I'm going to pass it over to Peter and Tom, who are going to take over the demo from here.
Great, thanks a lot, Rob. Welcome, everyone. Let me share, and to start off with, we're going to go to the new dashboard. Okay, the familiar dashboard. As you can see, the new dashboard has many more columns across the screen to allow you to get more content all on one screen, as well as, yes, we now can drag and drop the widgets in place. So really excited to have the ability to do that. We still have the ability to turn on and off widgets using the Edit Dashboard tool. You can also sort them from here, but it's just really convenient to get some of that interactivity back with the widgets themselves. Furthermore, some of these widgets do have the interactivity within them, so you can change or make adjustments by flipping them over. And yes, as expected, it is still responsive, but it's just giving you more control with your dashboard so you can have more of your insights up front. Next, the search. We have the ability in search now to display and highlight the selected row when the summary card is open. So if you're in here and you have a summary card and you start looking at other properties, you kind of it's hard to know where the summary cards listing went. So we now have a very dark blue bar to highlight. So now you know consistently, hey, what I'm looking at is indeed what I'm looking at on the left as well. So that just made the usability much more obvious. Another thing that we've added back was the clicking on the count in the search. So if you're in the top of here and you see the number of matches, in this case I have 5,000, but if I were to narrow it down by using our find tool and go to a saved search that I have, in this case I have a saved search for Judy, and she's got 12 matches, um, but I just want to get a quick summary of these matches. I can click on the matches themselves and it'll give me the results that it found in this convenient little popover modal. Calculators. We have new calculators. Responsive, fresh, clean, simple, not overwhelming. Instead of hundreds of options, just a handful of what's really needed. We do have two modes of this. One is with advertising, that is configurable, and the other is without. But going forward, this is something you can expect to increase the productivity in terms of being able to jump right in and not have to mess with an antiquated calculator. It's all modern, easy to use. Furthermore, you can add a property to it. So I can put in a property address or create a new one, and when I put it in, it will assume all of the information from that property. It'll find the location. I can even assign a contact to this property. And so when I save this, all of the numbers and all of these calculators will adjust to take into account the data from that property, for example. And after I've done this calculator, I can export it specifically for Judy. Next, we have a simple little settings update. In the settings, the client activity notifications. So it's a cleaner UI. We're modernizing the settings pages as well, so it's not just the front end to make it convenient for our staff, admin, etc. Moving right along, we have quite a few going on in the listing manager. So I'm going to switch over to listing manager. And the first thing is we now display the same set of listing filters as my listings. You used to have to go my matrix, my listings. You're already in your listings manager. You can simply change right here from the drop down and filter by, for example, just my active listings. And then from there, I can access hit counters, for example. These are new. If I were to select a row, now we have a summary drawer open on the right, and it'll present us with the eyeballs and impressions. So I get the one home, the client visits, favorites, dislikes, etc., as well as historical views down here, this nice modernized chart. I can also, of course, if I really want to see it large, I can do that, but I can take the information I've gathered and export it in a few different means as well. Ability to share listings, yes. Not only because we were able to share listings in search, now you're able to share the listings in your listing manager directly from the action ellipsis on the right. You will see a share this listing. One second. I believe it needs to be an active one. There we go, share listing. And what this allows you to do is confirm, yep, this is the one I want to share. I can simply copy the URL and it'll get into my clipboard and then I can do as I please with that. So that's making it convenient. Hit counters, I did show you the hit counters. And next we have reverse prospecting. So in the listing manager of these action items, as we update these, reverse prospecting is the next one to get a UI boost. As you can see, it's a fully new modernized reverse prospecting. And if I click on a row here, I will get the ability to email right from within reverse prospecting right here. Super convenient. Next up, input, add, edit. I'm going to my list, input, add, edit. So if I'm going to go to a listing, let me go back to my listing manager, select a listing. We have a new system level option for showing all required fields on input forms with either a colored border or a background color. Now I know this particular listing, I already filled out all the requirements, but if I have it required, you'll get a red border around it and to match the red badge so it's consistent, as well as the red badge in the tab. So it's making it a lot easier to see. I know some of you had the old background yellow, but we are able to add background colors now. Next, we've added support for filling from third-party data sources in the new input module, as well as if I leave this listing with the browser's back button, it will now warn me. In the past, it wasn't doing that. So it'll tell me I have unsaved changes. Um, as you can see, we're using the browser messaging here. And so it's a nice reminder of, whoa, okay, don't leave. I want to go back, make sure I have added something and or submitted or closed. Next, we have an updated confirmation page. So if I am done with a listing, we have a brand new confirmation page. So I got some validations I'd have to fix, but let me go to a different listing to show you what that will look like. So this is the landing page for success. So when I'm done submitting a listing, I get the succeed message, I get the MLS number. I also have the continue editing. A lot of us will finish and will submit a listing and be, oh snap, I forgot to do something. Don't make me go look for that listing. I want to just keep going here and click the button. As well as we have the LDC check here, the ability to boost your listing, manage showing time, but depending on your system, you may have 3 other items as well. And so this is a scalable page that we can configure to meet your needs, to allow your users to continue to do things with the listing. But keep in mind, if I close and go to my listing manager at any point in time, I can still get to those things through the actions menu. I have a whole slew of things that I can do, like change the status. I don't have to go back into the listing every time to make these changes. I can do a lot of them right from here. And that, just like that, we're going right up to the best for last here in terms of size of demo, the new CMA. I'm going to show you an example of creating a CMA from scratch, from search, which is a pretty good use case. Obviously, I can go and create one from scratch we have it called the CMA Manager. And I'll get to that in a minute. But right now, I'm working with a client. Her name is Judy. Some of you are familiar with her. And she likes it over here on Mountain Island. I already have a safe search for her. And I want to select all of these properties and create a CMA with these. However, if I just click one of them, then the system is going to assume that I want this to be my subject property, McGee Hill Drive. And so if I click on the CMA, it automatically adds the subject property. It will get a photograph and allow me to add a contact, create a new contact, as well as suggest 10 to 50 comps for me. So it's a pretty quick way of getting into a full CMA versus the quick. We still have the quick CMA. But in this case, I'm going to select all the listings, click CMA. I'm going to put in a subject property. I'm just actually guessing right now this subject property may not be in the area, but for demo purposes, you'll see how this works. I'm going to add Judy as the contact. It says I have 12 listings, create CMA, and instantly, actually, I did pretty good guessing on the subject property. It's right in the middle. So this subject property, it shows me on the map, and we have the entry point into the CMA creator. And from here, I get a good sense geographically of where things are at. And I think, yeah, this is a pretty good range. at any point in time, I can click Find More Comps. I click on Find More Comps. It takes me back into search and allows me to continue to search into, uh, I can go back, I can even go and fill from a cart, for example. I can go back, find some more listings. I can select these listings either in the list or on the map itself using the select boxes, of course. And as I select listings, notice there's a count in the top right, add selected to CMA. So we found a way to merge, we've created a way to merge the map and the CMA together. And so as I'm working here and I click add, I know what's going to happen. It's going to bring them in for me. So I can add and remove to my heart's content and really narrow down my comps. I can delete the comps that I feel are outliers, of course, if I don't like them. I can also sort them. This is a new feature for some of us, and the ability to sort this is important because when I send the CMA to my client, I want to have a particular set of houses, either by proximity or by value. It's up to me. I get to decide. Um, and so on this first tab, I get to check the location, add remove comps, and then go forward from there. But to give you a laydown of the whole situation, on the top here, I have the name of the person I'm preparing this for. I also have the ability at any point in time to change the subject price. The nice thing about the CMA is Matrix gives me an AVM to start with. Okay, 500 for an average, sure, I'll put that in and add this price to the CMA. It gets updated. And there's a reason why, as I'm going throughout the CMA, the whole goal here is to come up with the perfect selling price for my client. But you know what? It's 500. She may not be happy with me just telling her flat out it's 500. I might want to turn this into a range. So when I send her the CMA, she sees that she gets a little bit of sense of control, like, hey, it's somewhere between 5 and 600. And then I have an opportunity to put the reasoning behind why I think it's in this range for Judy. And so I can add that message here. So going forward, I have compared the location. I have a good batch of 16 comps. And as I go forward, I can add or remove them. Next is the comparison tab. Now this is where if you're really into the data, you can come in and you get the column view from left to right. At any point in time, there's an outlier that you think isn't going to work, you can simply delete it. We have this view. We also have the top-down view at any point in time. I can also manage those. And then excitingly is the third view. This is the photographic compare. So I, as an agent, have an opportunity to really see, like, I thought these were good comps. I thought the data was good, but when I look at the photographs, wow, there's one of these needs a lot of help. So I either want to make an adjustment on that one or simply remove it. And so it's a really convenient tool that allows me to narrow down my comps. Next up, we've heard loud and clear. Oh, first, the adjustments. Yes, you can still make adjustments. For those of you that want to get into adjustment mode, you click on the settings cog, and now it opens up the fields so that you can modify. So for example, one of these comps, one of these properties has a new kitchen or something, I can add a value to, I'm just going to pick a random field, but I can add 5,000 to this, and it'll automatically adjust that property. If I go back to my price here, it's added an additional adjustment column. So I've got some numbers to work with. They're pretty similar right now, but if I give it some time, I can really focus and get this into. So I'm truly the expert in this area at this point by having access to all this information. Now keep in mind, when I go through all of this, this could be a set and forget, and we're going to get to that in a minute with the personalize. This CMA, at any point in time, you can save your settings. And so if I come up with an area and I want a CMA, I can just put those in here and push share, and the CMA will go out. So this is something that you wouldn't have to configure every time. Next is the property full tab. We heard from our users and they needed access to this. In the past, they would leave the CMA creation process, go to a new search, open, search for some of the comps to get to the remarks and so forth. So they're all right here within the CMA creation. I can view the remarks, get the information I need. Once again, adding to my expertise. Of course, we have all the same tabs on the property full that you would get in search. And then we have the summary tab, which will summarize it. And then the summary tab, we give you the price line. So I actually thought I had a pretty good subject price, but according to this, my client might not be so happy because it's way at the top, unless I can definitely sell it at that amount. So it's a really nice visual indication. Like I thought it was good, but I might want to go back and adjust the price. I can simply do that at any time. Maybe it's the range that messed it up for me. And so if I look at it now, it hasn't moved yet. Oh, still up there, too high. Let's try this and see. So it's a nice visual indication, like, okay, I'm feeling a little more confident here. That's going to work out pretty well. It's more competitive now. Furthermore, the CMA details. So at any point in time, I've done my comparing. I can add fields as well. We have these custom fields on the right here. We did not. So anything that you are familiar with or used to from the old CMA, one-for-one functionality, we made sure that we accounted for that. And so you will see that within the new experience as well. Oh, and the cover page, yes. So in the CMA, I have the ability to change the cover page to not just be the subject property photo. There may be cases where there is no photo. There may be cases where I don't want to show the photo. So we're going to have options for that, and I'm going to get into that now. So I've done all my comparing. I'm feeling happy about the number of comps. I click on personalize. We separated out, this is the theming and the styling, as well as the presentation mode, if you will. So I am now going to look at what's available. These are all the pages Matrix has available for me to choose from. I have a simple toggle here that lets me turn off the ones I don't want to use. So right now I see all the pages. Do I want sources of buyers? Do I want to show pricing recommendations? If I click on these, I get to see a preview of them. Days on market, price adjustments, and notice it's interactive. This is an HTML-based web report. And so the client, when I send this to them, will have the same experience. They'll be able to interact with this themselves. So it makes it really convenient to be able to view at any time in a browser. And I still have the option to make this a PDF and send it the traditional way. And so I can look at this and decide, this particular CMA, these comps don't have a days on market because the ones I'm using are sold. I'm going to turn that off. So I can go up and down. I can also organize these in the order in which I want the report to come out. And so it's really convenient. We're trying to keep this as simple as possible. We still have the static pages that lets the client know, hey, you need to look at these visually, read them, talk to me, and I'll explain to you. There are things you need to know, the basic agent information set of pages. Keep in mind, this is the default list of pages. At any point in time, you can click add and upload your own PDF to the report, to the CMA. You can upload your own cover sheet. You name it, your nephew might design something for you in Photoshop. You can make a PDF, upload that as well. So there is no limit on what you can upload in terms of adding to your CMA to add more value, if you will. And then so that is the page ordering. And when I'm done with that, I also have the ability to pick a theme. And right now you see two. I may have a CMA. I have it all set up where I just come in, push a button. I can save these pages in the order I want and it'll remember it. I may do a set and forget, meaning my CMAs, I just push a button, I come in here and I pick a theme and I send it. This will continue to grow, but for example, we have basic, and if I change the CMA theme layout, it'll change the font, the color, etc for me because I may have an entry level house that I'm sending a CMA to, and I don't want to send them a full blown luxury CMA looking report. They're going to think I'm overpriced or something. But I'm able to change that depending on who my client is, which will make it really convenient. And then lastly, I can share this. Currently, we have the ability to share this through an email, as well as the ability to view it in an HTML form. And so let me just show you an example of here's a page. If I click PDF, it'll convert it into a vertical page format. And this is what you'd expect if you were to print the CMA. Now going back to the CMA manager, if I leave this and go back, in the CMA manager, I now have the ability to see all my CMAs as well as how many comps they have, and of the comps, their statuses, as well as pertinent information. At any point in time, I can do a number of things with these. I can view, edit, email, delete. Also, if I click on one, I get a summary. Let's find one with a photo here. There we go. I get a reminder of what the CMA was for, who it's for, the suggested price I did at the time. I can view it, I can email it from here. I also get to see what the comps are, as well as the contact here. This will continue to grow and add more insights and information for me, the agent. And if I only have a handful of CMAs, then I may prefer the gallery view, which in this case would either show the subject property or the cover photo. And like I said, the cover photo could be, you can upload and change that yourself as well. It's not just a subject property or a map or street view. So you can change that and make it customizable in that way. And with that, I am done with my portion of the demo for 12.5 matrix. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Peter. Really appreciate that. Now, I'm going to pass it, I'm going to just quickly pass it over to Kim for some marketing stuff. But before that, I just wanted to take a quick second and let everyone on the call know that Marc-Antoine Juanita, he is actually, in addition to MLS Touch, which was also one of the products he was leading, he is now in charge of the Matrix product as well. So you're going to be hearing a lot more from Marc-Antoine in the new year. And I'm going to, with that, pass it back over to Kim, who's going to go over some of the considerations and rollout items.
Hello, everybody. Just a quick slide about the rollout. It's not an automatic release. Unlike One Home and MLS Touch, it goes out to everyone. This is, you have to contact your client service rep to get scheduled. And the new CMA can be turned on internally for MLS staff before it goes live to your end users, so you guys can test it. So if you have any questions on that one, please contact the client service rep. We can also offer marketing support. We do have a communications kit for 12.5. We actually have kits for all of our releases across all of our products. And if you, this is a QR code to get the communications kit. We will email it to everybody, but again, this is not an automatic release. So just your client service rep will give it to you at the time of deployment as well. And this is just a sample. We have, oops, let's see, go back up here. It's not going to go back up for me. Okay. Is it going to play? Yeah, we have some quick either social posts you can do or message of the day. It's all part of the kit. And if you need anything customized or more content, just contact us. Again, we have news and alerts. We have also copy you can put with it. And then to get another spot, you can get all of our kits for all of our products is go to the Learning Lab under support. And then under staff resources, you'll find all of our products, including Clarity, Listing Data Checker. Any of our release notes are there, and marketing kits to help promote the new features to your end users. And if you don't have access or forgot how to access a Learning Lab, just send me an email, kmclean@corelogic.com. And then we also have the release notes. Again, they're on the Learning Lab, but if you just want to scan the QR code, you can get them, and we'll also follow up by email with everybody on this call with the release notes and the marketing kits and a recording of today's webinar. And Rob, I'll let you field some questions if there are any that are unanswered.
Yes, thank you so much. We do have some questions in the chat, and so I'm just gonna, sorry, turn on my camera here. Perfect. So we received quite a number of questions. I think many have been answered in the chat. So if you want to take a look as well, you can. But a couple of the other ones that I wanted to address is basically for the CMA summary. Is there going to be an alternate for square footage? Basically, when we were looking at the timeline, you saw the price, the square footage on the actual scale. Yes, this is really truly just the beginning. We're looking at using some other factors as well to try and make those comparisons even better. Now, I also have another question here, and I'm going to pass it over to either Peter or Tom to answer that. And they wanted to know if the CMAs still expire after a certain amount of time. So I see it's answered here, but Tom, did you want to field that one?
Yeah. Yes, the CMAs still do expire at the same duration as the current ones. Under the covers, much of the CMA structure has not changed, and we built the new skin on top of it and added new features. One of the reasons for doing that was to allow your members to be using either classic mode or new UI mode. They might be using the new search, they might be using classic search. We wanted to make it so that it is a seamless experience and that you can support both as long as you want to, and your members can continue to use the one they're most comfortable with and transition to using the new one, which I'm sure they'll like better. So.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tom. And we did have another question regarding the status of the listing. I think this one's important to address. There's a couple different ways you can share the CMA. So one is obviously a PDF report. So if the status of a listing changes, then that's not going to be reflected in the PDF report because it is a static time and place. However, if you're using the HTML version, this is going to be a living, breathing item. So the updated listing is going to be reflected in that particular CMA. Now, I've looked through some of the other questions, and I think that one of the things that is going to be asked a few times here is, hey, I don't have that in the system right now. We did just cover that in the rollout section. But yes, this is a brand new release, and availability in Matrix is going to be subject to when, if you're an agent, the MLS actually turns it on. You can, of course, speak with your client account services rep. You can speak with your customer success manager to talk about a timeline for those particular rollouts. It is available and ready right now, so it is up to each individual MLS to decide when that feature would be turned on. Now, Peter, Tom, I know you've been looking at some of the questions here. Was there anything we wanted to ask? Is there anything we wanted to answer with the group here?
One question is that that's come up a couple times is the new search a requirement for the new CMA? And the answer is yes, it is a prerequisite that to expose the new CMA to your members, the new search has to be available to your members. Certainly you can evaluate it, as MLS staff prior to that. You could release them concurrently, and expose both at the same time. The reason for this has to do with when Peter was showing adding new comparables or just adding comparables to the CMA. That requires the new search experience to do. A separate question was asked, does it require one home? And the answer there is no. One home is not a requirement for the new CMA.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Yeah, okay. I see a couple other questions. I'm just trying to see if there's any ones that we want to pick up here. We are answering them in real time here in the actual chat as well. There's a couple more questions around the new search experience versus the classic. I think Tom just answered that well. Let me just take a quick look.
Let me just interrupt you for a sec, Rob, and cover one thing and give you a chance to get caught up and read. When Peter was showing the clicking on the count to show the total count of listings, I just wanted to make clear that applies as well if there are over 5,000 results. I know that is something that was used by members and by staff for that reason. They want to know, hey, how many active listings are there total? And they're limited to 5,000. So you click on that count and it'll tell you, yeah, there's 72,142. something like that. So that count is same as it is in Classic, gives you a full count.
That's great. Thanks so much, Tom.
Rob,
I
I do
saw.
see a question about recipe. Update on that. That was I think the previous version of Matrix. So when we send the release notes out for 12.5, I'll include links to the previous version of release notes, and recipe is covered on those release notes.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you, Kim. So I've gone through most of the questions. Most of them appear to be answered. Yeah. Okay. What is the integration with one homeowner? I think we have the integration that we're speaking of with one homeowner. Again, this is subject to whether or not you have that particular application active within your MLS. I don't know if anyone on the call wanted to speak to that a little bit more.
So that integration is within the contacts. So you are able to send an invite to the customer, to the client, as a link, as an invite to join one homeowner. So that's all available within the contacts matrix.
Awesome. And we had another question, is one home a requirement for the new calculators? I don't believe that's the case, but Saish or Tom or Peter? The new financial, yeah.
Okay, Tom, go ahead and take it. I think we should all stay on the camera. Just Tom, go ahead and take it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, those are standalone. So you'll be able to use those in Matrix whether or not one home is enabled. Great. And somebody asked her, agents currently enter multiple emails and the portal works for all users. Okay. All right. No, I think that one's fairly straightforward. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure we answer all the key questions here. I think, the only other one that mentioned is the counts. I saw that previously; it was answered. So yes, it's building on what we've already kind of included. So legacy will also be included in those counts as well. I think that is about all, unless anyone else sees any other questions that we've missed. I know, and thank you all for the comments on the quality of the release. I also agree. I think this is a really awesome feature, and agents are really going to enjoy the new CMA capabilities. I think it makes it easier to find comps. It makes it easy to share. The ability to, make your CMA your own is going to be really powerful as well. We're really excited about this release. And if you have any questions that did not get answered, then feel free to send an email out afterwards. You can send it directly to me, rlove@corelogic.com, and I'll be sure to get that answered for you as well. Awesome. And just to remind everyone, yes, the recording will be sent out afterwards. Awesome. Well, I want to thank everyone for their time today. I know that it's a busy time, and the start of the year is probably very active for most of you. And I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. The recording will be available, and if you have any questions that didn't get answered, once again, email me, talk to your client services manager, our client success manager, and we will be able to help you with that as well. Great.